Sex before marriage is not allowed in Islam. It is haram, forbidden, unlawful. If a single person has sex, it is called fornication, and if a married person has sex with a person they are not married to, then the married person is committing adultery. In Arabic we call both fornication and adultery zina. Zina, in Arabic, means immorality. This is a major sin in Islam. Allah says, "And come not near to unlawful sex. Verily, it is a fahisha, i.e. anything that transgresses its limits, a great sin, and an evil way that leads one to hell unless Allah forgives him." Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, "There are three to whom Allah will not speak on the day of resurrection, nor praise, nor look at. Theirs will be a painful torment, an old man who commits zina, a king who lies, and a poor man who is arrogant." Reported by Muslim. Among the worst of incomes is the earnings of a prostitute which she takes before committing zina, and the immoral woman who earns her living by selling herself is deprived of having her prayers answered when the gates of heaven are opened at midnight. The hadith is in Sahih al-Jami. Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, "When an adulterer commits illegal sexual intercourse, then he is not a believer at the time he is doing it, and when a drinker of an alcoholic liquor drinks it, then he is not a believer at the time of drinking it, and when a thief steals, then he is not a believer at the time of stealing, and when a robber robs, and the people look at him, then he is not a believer at the time of doing robbery." Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, "When a man commits zina, faith departs from him and hovers like a cloud over him, then when he stops that, faith returns to him." Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, explained, "If one of you were to be stabbed in the head with a piece of iron, it would be better for him than if he were to touch a woman whom it is not permissible for him to touch." Reported by Al-Tabarani, see also Sahih al-Jami, 5045. It is narrated that Samura ibn Jundub said, "When the Prophet, blessings and peace of Allah be upon him, had prayed, he would turn to us and say, 'Who among you saw a dream last night?' If anyone had seen a dream, he would tell him and say whatever Allah willed." One day he said, "Did any of you see a dream last night?" We said, "No." He said, "But last night I dreamt that two men came to me and they took me by the hand and led me out to the Holy Land. Then we moved onto a hole like a tanor, a kind of oven, that was narrow at the top and wide at the bottom. A fire was lit underneath it, and when it came close they rose up until they almost came out, and when it died down they went back into it. In it were naked men and women. I said, 'Who are these?' They said, 'Move on.' So we moved on." According to another report, so we went on, and came to something like a tanor, a kind of oven. I, the narrator, think he said, "In it there was much noise and voices. We looked into it and saw naked men and women. A flame of fire was reaching them from underneath, and when it reached them, they cried out loudly. I said to them, 'Who are these?' They said to me, 'Move on, move on. As for the naked men and women whom you saw in a structure that resembled an oven, they are the adulterers and adulteresses.'" Allah says, "But when Allah wills a people's punishment, there can be no turning back of it, and they will find besides him no protector." In this life, the Islamically prescribed punishments for those who commit fornication and adultery are as follows. The male or female who commits fornication are as follows. Allah says, "The fornicatress and the fornicator, flog each of them with 100 stripes. Let not pity withhold you in their case, in a punishment prescribed by Allah, if you believe in Allah and the last day. And let a party of the believers witness their punishment." The person being punished should be flogged standing. According to the majority of scholars, he or she should not be made to lie down, and he or she should not be bound, and blows to the face, head and genitals are to be avoided. Ibn Qudama, may Allah have mercy on him, said, rather the blows should be distributed all over the body, so that each limb will have its share, but most of them should be on the fleshy parts such as the buttocks and thighs, and the sensitive areas should be avoided, namely the head, face and genitals of men and women alike.